when we were first married, they said the 3 top reasons for couples divorcing were sex, money, and communication. And for us, we saved sex for marriage. And money, at that time,
Well, at that time,
we had no money. We're college students. So, and then communication, well, we're newly married. What do you communicate? We communicate just fine. But then...
Well, it's funny because we were in a surreal world. Plus, we were very,
we're still in our honeymoon
in love. We're in
stage.
a honeymoon stage of the marriage, and everything was just fine. We were eating ramen noodles when we were listening to this news report. And as we went along, you start growing out of that. You become comfortable, and you move forward. And we had debt, like you couldn't believe, college debt. And I remember we bought our first stereo on our Sears credit card.
Mistake, probably.
Big mistake. I think it took us
Credit
10 years to pay that
Probably.
off. So I think we bought it 5 times.
Probably.
And that's something that as that grew in our relationship, so did the not understanding finances in our lives, not understanding how the burden or the anchor that it can put in our lives.
Mm-hmm.
And we chose a different career paths. We chose career paths that, most typical people don't choose. And we ran into some beautiful people. Granted, our career paths have changed our lives completely and have enriched our lives completely, because we both work for the church. So, and one Catholic school teacher and one person who works for the church, and we didn't control our money issues, and this becomes an issue within relationships. The sex became a conflict in our relationship because we discovered things in our past backgrounds that we had to deal with, and we went to counseling for that. We learned communication skills. We work on that today. We work the same communication skills within our finances too.
And with our finances, we have joint checking accounts. He does all the financial work there, and I will look at it, but we would try to do it together, and then it just be frustrating. So I said, you know what? Okay, so you're in charge.
We learned some communication issues, that there are some roadblocks, and when you hit those roadblocks, you have to figure out how to go. Right?
Yes.
and what we have to do, and I think we really are learning, is through creating the budget. I'll be honest with you. We've read a lot of budget books. We've listened to the radio talk show hosts, and I'm the director of stewardship. And what we know is that our debt is the anchor, and it holds us back from really being free. And we've had to take this on. This is something we weren't informed about when we entered marriage. We talked about checkbooks and how we handle the checkbooks. We talk about,
those things,
but we didn't really talk. You graze over spending and how you spend, and how you take care of that, and then it becomes a great burden in the relationship. And I think that's it.
I think if any of our arguments and the tension in our marriage, when we have tension or when we disagree, it's over money. Mm-hmm. We shouldn't have spent that, or why didn't we plan for that? Why didn't we discipline ourselves better? I mean, that really, honestly, I think the biggest, if there was a thorn that we always have to deal with, it is money. Mm-hmm. And that's where our communication we have to work on that, communicating that.
And it's not, I want to make it clear, it's not that we're underpaid. It's not that we're
It's how you deal with the money that you have.
Right.
Yeah, it's not that we're
How
poor.
do you live within
How do
your
you
means?
live within your means?
What is your budget? What is the food budget? What is the play budget? It is living within the means that we've been given. Mm-hmm. And we are very happy with what we've been given, and we're thankful for everything we've been given. It's God-given. How do we deal with it? How are we good stewards of it? Mm-hmm. And this is what we're learning. And we still learn. We will learn all the way to the end of our days.
We will. And we're hoping, though, through all this, our children are a part of it. They kind of get pulled in a way, because we talk, everything is, it is a consumer society, but it's on the table. I mean, we communicate this with our children because we want them to learn from either our mistake, from everything, from our mistakes, from our joys, and so.
When they want to buy a moped and it's $2,500, when Dad says, we can't do that, they don't have the money for that. Right. It's not that we don't have the money. We got a budget for this? Is it a need?
Yeah.
You still have to work
So-
with your young people, your children about that too.
So it's an everyday, issue. I think that that you deal with, that you learn to deal with, and that you have to plan for, and if you don't, if you go and spend on your own or whatever it is, that's not going to be pretty. So you just got to work it together. It'll work out.